All I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything that, would be different. And I think it's a terrible, if they wouldn't allow, a top player, maybe the best, maybe among the best players on the team, to play, I think it would have had a big stain.
Remember when Donald Trump showed how corrupt FIFA is, in his own words? Well, in the aftermath.
And once the president got involved and made the call, and then it was reversed, were you thinking, yay, this is good, or were you thinking, I don't know if this is such a good thing for the team or for myself at this particular time? Because then that turned into a whole nother layer of controversy.
Star striker Folarin Balogun would break his silence after the United States were bounced by Belgium at the World Cup.
My initial reaction was, I was happy to be back in the team.
Yeah.
But when I kind of started to reflect, I knew it was going to cause a lot of controversy. And I could almost see within my teammates a bit of nerves because it's something that's so unique. But the closer we got to the game, I tried to just focus as best as I could.
Yeah.
But it was difficult, a lot of outside noise, and that's hard to avoid.
Yeah.
I don't believe he made the decision. I think it was a committee that made the decision. And they made the right decision because, number one, it wasn't a foul.
On behalf of all Americans, thank you for getting rid of that ridiculous red card. This is his... That was interesting. It was spectacular. There was a reason the FIFA trophy sat here for as long as it did.
Painful watching this loser speak. Alas.
Were you able to focus that day on game day? I know they say athletes always compartmentalize, but were you guys able to focus on the game?
Given the expectations,
yes,
right? The expectations, all of a sudden, when we realize that you're going to be playing,
yes,
and you see the controversy, which is happening across the media, across football, what is the team locker room mentality like as you step out onto that field, knowing that now they're like, okay, Flo Balogun is playing again? What goes through all the teams? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, it's more just being able to separate, the emotion from the job at hand.
If we read between the lines, there was a tell here.
We're all professionals, so it's not something I think was too difficult to be able to separate once we kind of got over the initial announcement that I'd be back in the team. And yeah, I think you saw definitely it was a difficult game against Belgium, and that can kind of overshadow whether we was focused or not. But from me being inside the camp and inside the setup, I know we had full concentration going into the game.
Balogun would say in that clip, and I do quote, "My initial reaction was I was happy to be back in the team, but when I kind of started to reflect, I knew it was going to cause a lot of controversy, and I could almost see within my teammates a bit of nerves because it's something that is so unique." He would then state, "But the closer we got to the game, I tried to just focus as best as I could, but it was difficult. A lot of outside noise, and that's hard to avoid." Then there was another wrinkle in all of this. Mohammed Al-Kamali of the United Arab Emirates would come into play in this story. The Financial Times would go on to report that FIFA has a disciplinary committee that has a roster of 18 people, yet Kamali, an ex-Emirati lawmaker, ruled alone on big-time decisions regarding the world's most popular sport. The Times' Martin Ziegler would print, "The verdict went against all previous World Cup disciplinary cases, where an automatic suspension is applied for a player who had received a red card and raises more questions for FIFA." He would note, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, took credit for the ban being lifted, because of course he did. Gianni Infantino, who serves as the head of FIFA after previously working with the IOC, admitted that POTUS dialed him about the matter. He would insist the independent judicial body was handling the case, which would be decided in due course by the competent bodies. Well, so much for that. Yahoo Sports would publish that more important disciplinary cases are frequently made by a group of 3 members of the disciplinary committee. FIFA, after this reporting would come to light, refused to answer questions. Kamali did the same. I think what we are learning once more is how corrupt the entire organization of FIFA is. It was not long ago that Sepp Blatter, who was the former leader of FIFA, was overseeing and involved in activities that led to his demise. We even saw how the United States Department of Justice took on much of the corruption that took place at FIFA and were there to punish them. And what do you know? The Trump administration takes over. The DOJ stops looking into FIFA altogether. Gianni Infantino and FIFA rent office space in Trump Tower, where The Athletic has reported that space sits completely empty. We don't know what they're paying. It hasn't been reported what they're paying. But all we have to do here is follow how this relationship has blossomed in so many ways. Gianni Infantino at one point didn't even go to a meeting with some of the leaders within the organization because he wanted to accompany Donald Trump on a trip to the Gulf. He runs soccer's organizing body. Why is he going there? Why do they have such a chummy relationship? Power. The whole FIFA Peace Prize thing, BS. It was concocted out of thin air. I think The Athletic even put forward a report that they knew someone who had a medal or trophy, whatever they gave Trump, laying around. They just gave it to him. That's how you could play him. That is how Gianni Infantino played him, but also benefited from it. I mean, he's going on all these trips. He's riding on Air Force One. FIFA and I believe Infantino even said that with the Biden administration, they could hardly get a call back. Good. I suppose if you want to talk a little bit more about the World Cup coming up, yeah, your people will talk to my people. The president probably has other things to do than welcome the head of FIFA so he could put a key into a trophy and turn it so you could woo the president of the United States because, like a 4-year-old kid, he likes big shiny things. I'm looking at this and all I'm thinking is, yeah, that makes sense, actually. Donald Trump directly called Gianni Infantino because they're so chummy. And he basically told him, come on, Gianni, overturn it. Not overturn it, suspend it. But Trump would probably say, take it away because he doesn't know anything about soccer. And they did. They suspended the suspension. They did it for Cristiano Ronaldo too. BS. They shouldn't have done it, but they did. And I think what is most important as I conclude is that the Trump administration and even the president has shown you how the sausage is made when really it was reserved for dark rooms and warehouses. Usually these secrets are kept tighter. Lips are sealed. Not this administration. They're showing you pretty quickly how it's made. And you know what? In an indirect way, thank you. We already knew FIFA was corrupt. But the fact that a head of state can pretty much, in my opinion, get a red card suspended so a player from his country representing it can play shows you everything.